Welcome one, welcome all to a very, very, very special edition of Chris Pollard Live. It's November 2022 and you know what that means. It's time to celebrate the second birthday of Chris Pollard Live. That's right, for the last 2 years we have been working tirelessly here behind the scenes and in front of screens to help sculpt a fairer, more opportune future for County Durham. And before we proceed with tonight's programme and the whole celebrations that come along with it, I would first like to thank one by one my Chris Pollard Live production team for all the hard work that they've done for me and for you good listeners of Durham On Air for the second consecutive year now. So first off, I'd like to thank my research staff who secure you all the deals, offers and services that make this show the porous membrane of opportunity that it has evolved into in 2022. And they are, of course, The Pencil, Allied Horse Cubes, Dynamite Danielle Semtex, and our own personal Jesus, Mike Depeche. I'd like to also give a huge thanks to the technical production staff responsible for making sure that all the sights and all the sounds that you encounter on Chris Pollard Live are of the highest possible quality. So a big thanks to our production staff, Deaf Ronnie and Blind Carol. I would also like to extend a huge thank you to the extended Durham On Air media universe, who have not only helped me find my feet at the start of this whole crazy radio journey, but they've also invited me to some of the sexiest and most debauched, depraved parties I've ever had the privilege of ruining with my incessant drunken crying. Also, a huge thank you must be given to the ongoing financial support provided to the show by my Uncle Brian, who is very, very deeply connected with local organised crime, and he's made sure that I've got the best possible equipment to help the show come to life, whilst also making sure that any of my personal enemies are followed at night by men with metal pipes. Thank you to the Chris Pollard Live production staff. I love you all there behind the camera. Here's to 2 years of workplace oppression. I'll be giving you a real kiss during the first ad break. Yes, I will. More thanks must be given out, however, tonight to tonight's birthday smash sponsors, without whom we would have bailiffs in the room. And they are tonight... Wow! Wow! I'm a Celebrity is back on ITV, and now you can play along with the celebrities at home with the Iceland frozen home testicle party platter. Kangaroo, koala bear, crocodile, spider, horse, wasp. You never know what you're going to get unless you're some kind of animal testicle expert, you weirdo. Gag along to the television during your favourite bush tucker trials, or just gag along at the thought of Matt Hancock like we all do. A pack of 20 testes is now only $3.99, while our jungle celebs are camped in Australia. After the show finishes, we're not going to sell them because they're not that brilliant at selling. Who really wants that? Grab them today at Iceland and have the taste of fading celebrity in your mouth all week. May contain nuts. We are also sponsored by County Durham's premium drive-through bikini car wash, Alan Gregson and Sons Car Valet. Only £6 a car and money back guaranteed if you find any hair or bits of last night's dinner on your bodywork afterwards. And finally, we are sponsored by Throwable Catholic Weaponry. We've got a whole lot to celebrate here tonight, not only for the birthday of the show, but of course the news that's coming in slowly across the pond, where it looks as though America is finally poised to re-legalise Battenberg in every bakery across the nation. God, it makes you proud to be British, doesn't it? Let's find out what else we've got in the oven, simply by raising the glass door and pulling it down and looking in the oven on tonight's programme. Because on tonight's programme we're going to be partying till 11 o'clock with a number of guests from the show's history, returning for one night only, just for you. To name a few: Karen Lexicon, Ryan Swingball, Nonk Tipsley, Numa Jart, and our old resident show pharmacist, Dr. Vlad Vagenta. Since leaving the show, coincidentally, he's actually gone on to start his qualifications to become a real doctor. He's currently trying to do his GCSE English and Maths at B. What else have we got here? I'll be opening some presents that I found in next door's bin. And our grand birthday finale tonight, I'm going to face off one-on-one one more time with a really angry kidney bean. Who will be the victor? Who knows? But there's only one way to find out, and that's by sticking round for the rest of the Chris Pollard Live second birthday special, if that's all right with you. If not, I'll get over it eventually.
Agent promised there were no ghosts in this house, but
Yo, what up? This your boy. You're listening to Chris Pollard Live, and I gotta tell you, I love licorice.
Oh, yes. Welcome back to Chris Pollard Live, the second birthday bash special. 2 years for your 2 ears. Still to come on tonight's party broadcast, I'm going to be eating a full Viennetta ice cream using only knives, and I'm going to open next door's gate just enough to let the dog out for a laugh. It's my birthday. It's not even my birthday. On tonight's show, not only will we be on tonight's show, not only will we be totally self-satisfied with our progress in curing the ailments of society, but we're also going to continue without rest, as we normally do, to provide you with the most up-to-date information and opportunities possible as the show rolls on throughout the evening. And let's get rid of some prizes right at the top of the show as we find out what could be this week's big question. Because we are looking for your input, suggestions and answers tonight to be in with a chance to win tonight's startlingly fun prize. To win the big question, big prize this evening, I would like to hear from you. Well, the big question is simply this. What's the biggest way that Chris Pollard Live has improved your day-to-day life over the last 2 years, be it routine-based, relationship repair, or even help that I've provided via the radio with shelves, shelving and shelf maintenance. Get those over via the usual methods of technology, which as always are tonight, texting studio plus your message, that's studio, plus your message to 88802. You can email studio@durhamonair.com. And you can also tweet at CPL Infodesk. That's CPL Infodesk. We are looking to find out tonight how we have improved your lives over the last 2 years, and the best of which will go on to win tonight's big question, big prize, which is tonight, because it's sort of a birthday themed show about the show and about the studio, I'm going to grant you a personal visit to my own personal property, and I will, for no longer than 20 minutes, I'm going to let you look around my garden, have a really good look around, and then at the end of the 20 minutes, I will let you tell me what you reckon I should do next with it, because I really don't know. There's something not quite right yet. Can't put my finger on it. Do I need a shed? Do I need a new bed? Who knows? Please don't bring up the smell around my greenhouse. Otherwise, you will be evicted before the 20 minutes is up, and you will be forced to sign a non-disclosure agreement and promise you'll not go to the bobbies. Get those suggestions in. And right now, it's time for your weekly Top 5. Because it's your Top 5 Chris Pollard Live segments that didn't really work out how I'd planned. Number 5, Guess Your Weight phoning competition. Oof, that was bad. Number 4, both editions of Send In Your Own Cheese, Please. Number 3, Live from the Red Light District special. Number 2, the semi-legal weapon of the week. But number 1 was, of course, the dog poo review, and I'm still blind in my left eye from that after a year. That was fun, wasn't it? Here's Sweeping Promises with Pain Without a Touch. much like dog poo. You don't even have to touch it. It will burn your retina if you're close enough.
Chris Pollard Live. These ain't your mama's false teeth.
Welcome back to Chris Pollard Live, the second birthday bash special, and it's the only radio show in the UK still that can easily double up as an inflatable raft in case of localised flash flooding. Still to come on the show, can I get a Blue Peter badge for drinking loads of Tipex in the middle of Lidl before the security escort me from the premises? Find out later on if we can find one that's open at this time. There was the fantastic Sink Ya Teeth from 2018's Sink Ya Teeth. There was If You See Me, absolutely love that. We've had songs so far from Sweeping Promises, Pain Without a Touch, as previously mentioned. Before that, Thank with Dread, one of my favourite songs of the year so far. And at the top of the show, Remain in Stasis by Scalping, another one of my favourites of this year. I'm going to be adding all them to the Chris Pollard Live Classics Catalogue playlist on Spotify. If you do follow that and you want to be hot, fresh, up to date with what's going on in the musical world of Chris Pollard Live. Earlier on, we asked you the big question, and what a big question it was, of just how have we helped you in your day-to-day life here at Chris Pollard, and indeed the Chris Pollard Live Community Contact Centre and our backroom staff who have been working for the last 2 years to just try and give you a leg up in society, because Elon Musk won't, even if he's offering it for £8 a month. Eric has messaged in, email should I say, saying happy birthday Chris Pollard Live. Thank you. I will never forget the first night of passion that I received via your connection section service. Nor will I forget the first time I attempted your shortbread recipe, one which I'm still trying to perfect, but one which always leaves my evening's date with a satisfied full tummy as they leave in the morning. Gross. Stanley says he thanks CPL for last year reconnecting him with his previously stolen one-of-a-kind Mint Imperial in the shape of Hugh Edwards off BBC News. Thanks to your swap shop service, I can place my prized possession back where it belongs, in the small pouch behind the sofa, and it only cost me one of my kidneys for the trouble. If I lost it again, I wouldn't hesitate whipping out the other kidney and maybe even one of my own eyeballs to make sure I'm reunited with it again. I don't know, again, that's a bit of a weird one. Not even, Hugh Edwards of all people. Let's get a better filter on these email backroom staff, or I'm sacking you all at the end of the show. And while the staff do that in the background, let's please have a peruse at the sports news.
World of sport.
In the sports news, there's been another big World Cup blow for England manager Tubes my toothpaste. Following a knock in Manchester City's game against Hovis on Sunday, it appears that England will travel to Qatar without top striker Lyle Pervert. Pervert is expected back in the Manchester City squad starting 11 at full fitness after the World Cup, where our three Lions are travelling, looking forward to making the nation proud, while simultaneously trampling on the graves of 15,000 migrant workers. Game on! Also in the sports news, a new world record was set in the inaugural World Championships of eating Doritos without licking your fingers afterwards. Taking home the glory on the day was Finland's Jukebox Springtime, who on the day managed an impressive 8 Doritos before succumbing to the cheesy flavour all over his digits. Finally, in the sports news, the 2020 Cricket World Cup is finally underway, and at this point, honestly, who cares? That's all the sports news. Back to you, music. Back to you, music. Wait, back to you. Music. Here's Dead Letter with Binge. You're listening to the second birthday party of Chris Pollard Live.
Take the lot before the sample has been certified. Fill the basket up with fruits galore. No need to try to ascertain which one.
Yes, welcome back to Chris Pollard Live, the second birthday bash. The only birthday party that you're gonna get invited to this year. It's sick burn, 3rd degree burns. Still to come, a look back at all the times that I've trumped while on air in the last 2 years, and you've just managed to be able to make it out on the broadcast. We're going to have an intimate sit-down chat with Francisco Gonk, inventor, of course, of the diagonal method of arranging garden peas on a dinner plate. If you want to get in touch tonight, if you want to have your say, if you want to say happy birthday, that would be lovely. If you want to answer our big question, which was how has Chris Pollard Live impacted and improved your life? I don't want to know I'm a detriment to your life. I've got enough people telling me that. I want to know how Chris Pollard Live has benefited you in every possible way. By texting studio plus your message to 88802. You can tweet at CPL Infodesk. That's CPL Infodesk. And you can email studio at Durham on air if you want to get in touch. And if you want to answer that big question, don't forget there's a big prize on offer tonight. 20 minutes look round my garden, and I'll let you give me pointers on, you know, maybe you should put some sleepers down there. The road, you know, that flower bed's doing nothing. You don't want lavenders there. You're doing them with lavenders there. It doesn't match the wood colour. I don't know. That's what your job will be if you win. And what a pleasure it will be for you indeed. Over the last 2 years, here on Chris Pollard Live on Durham on Air, it's been an absolute pleasure and a privilege to give up these 2 hours of a Wednesday evening to collate all the important data and information that my team has sort of researched throughout the week and gathered, just so I can give this to you in a live format in the professional manner that I do it in, you know. But it's been asked to me before, and it's something I've always thought, I wonder if people ever wonder that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you a bit behind the scenes tonight, and I'll answer a sort of a question that is actually asked to me daily in supermarkets. They say, Chris, the show's all well and good, but what happens when the microphone's turned off? How do you wind down on an evening? So on this special occasion, I thought, why not? I'm just going to let you in behind the curtain, answer this once and for all, because it is a birthday party. And what better thing to do on a birthday party than spread secrets? So yes, how does one settle down after 120 minutes of high-octane information paggered straight into your fat gob? Of course, with a nice musical accompaniment underneath. Well, as soon as the 10 o'clock gong bongs, I'm heading straight upstairs. And anyone will know me will know that the first thing I do is I run a really nice, hot, warm, deep bath. When that's run, I get in it, I have a wee, then I get back out of it again. I've got a water infection stemming from a rather invasive swelling due to a wasp sting that occurred late into last year, but it's still causing problems. So I do have to get in the bath to urinate. After that, I will get in bed and I'll scrunch my eyes up as tight as I can until I either fall asleep, pass out, or my eyes start bleeding. And if that's the case, by the time I've got back from A&E and I've sorted that out, I'm usually pretty sleepy. But in the other two cases, just keep scrunching and then I fall asleep. It usually seems to be enough to stop the voices. And then remain in bed until the following Wednesday. And then I start checking my emails and think about opening a nice bottle of Malbec before the show that night. So there's a bit of insight for you, in case you were wondering how the magic happens behind the scenes here on a Wednesday evening in the Chris Pollard Live Community Contact Centre, and just how I've utilised, I don't know if you noticed, but some of the methods that were brought into the scene by radio legend and at one point my tutor, Radio 1 originator, Whips Cucumber. Now hold on to your apron, because we've got another birthday special top 5 to bring you right now. Wow, it's your top 5 most extreme moments of CPL history. Number 5, receiving my first tattoo off that blind man in prison. Number 4, eating my first cheeseburger with onion on it. Ooh, gross. Number 3, sneaking a microphone and a foghorn into intensive care. Number 2, my fight with Lemby Opic. But number 1, my BMX jump over carrots. Get in! On Durham Lab. Welcome back to Chris Pollard Live, second birthday bash, opening the presents of the present and placing them onto the eBay of tomorrow. And off topic, they say there's nothing on eBay these days and that all the good stuff's on Amazon, you know. But I met both my ex-wives on eBay in the last 2 years, and there's nothing like better. There's nothing like that on Amazon, you know. Who are you going to find purely through exchanging pleasant, positive feedback, seller feedback to one another? You don't get that. It seems too corporate with Amazon. There's nowhere to let the love seeds blossom. The ball's in your court is what I'm saying, Bezos. Let's turn Amazon into amazingly turned on. Yes, there was John × 2 with Sebensko Powerhouse. Fantastic stuff. Before the ad break, you heard Deceiver by Gum, Ghum. That's fantastic. That came out this year from Bitter. Lovely. All the songs I've tried this week to get some brand new stuff in, because it has been. I wasn't around last week. I was a little poorly. But I've tried to get all new music for this week, and I hope that is reflected in just how weird it is, because this is the stuff off Bandcamp. We've received more wonderful messages and submissions coming through to the Chris Pollard Live Community Contact Centre regarding our big question this evening, which was, of course, how has Chris Pollard in the last 2 years, Chris Pollard Live, not me personally, the service that I provide, how has that helped you in your day-to-day routine? How has it helped you plan the future? How has it solved the issues that were burning at home? We've had some through Mabel via text. Happy birthday, Chris Pollard Live, she texts. It was on this week 2 years ago that I first discovered the sound of a man choking half to death on a Jaffa cake. And yes, Mabel, I do remember. It was quite an unfortunate way to start my first ever show on Durham On Air, but I did promise myself that I would finish the box during the first song, and I guess that's on me. That sounds more like a me problem than a Mabel problem, but what a way to start proceedings, eh? She continues, after 2 years, I now know what it sounds like to hear a man choking half to death on his own ego. Give it up and go back to topless modelling in Nuts magazine. Now, Mabel, even if you thought you had found photos of me in my younger days, freer days, with my top off in Nuts magazine, or Loaded, or Northern Birds Direct, then do you really think it would be appropriate to out that person in such a fashion on such a public medium? Especially when I didn't have to read the email out. I should have just read it beforehand. And if you did have these photos, which you don't, I'm just saying, they would have been tasteful there would have been sexy, arty, and there would have been no funny business before or after at the photo shoot, bar a bit of strip air hockey. Thanks for your regards on the birthday, and I take your well wishes as implied. Thank you, Mabel. 2 years of Chris Pollard Live. Also in, Derek F has emailed the show to say happy 22nd birthday, Michael. Your granddad is so proud of you. Can't wait for the barbecue. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Or XXX, so it might be a X-rated barbecue. Derek, this may not have been for me, evidently, but thank you anyway. It might have been for me, but either way, you just let me know. Send another email to that email address that you've emailed, studio@durhamonair.com. Let me know, where's the cook? Where's it taking place? You know, I will be there with a generous helping of my award-winning sausage. It has won awards, you know. Because there's a secret to a good home sausage. Kill the pig before you start making it. It's much easier that way. It's time for your Chris Pollard Live voucher book.
The voucher book.
Because Chris Pollard Live and our team here of tireless researchers have secured you, the good listener at home, a whopping 75% off any first purchase when you visit Denton and Bedcliffe's world of items that cost 75% more than they should. This £1 can of Coca-Cola? What £1 can of Coca-Cola? I'm not holding one, so I don't have one. So what are you on about? The offer still stands regardless. 75% off your first purchase at the world of items that cost 75% more than this year. Voucher book can also help you out if you're in the market for a new car. Swifty Dave Lockpick is offering 20% off his any car guarantee. Do you see a car parked up at your local supermarket car park and you wouldn't mind taking it out for a quick spin? Swifty Dave Lockpick can be at your disposal within 20 minutes anywhere in County Durham and have you behind the wheel within 21 minutes. Please note that you will have to torch or dispose of the car off a high cliff at the end of your test drive, otherwise it may come back to you in a court of law. 20% off if you quote CPL or ring him up and sing the theme tune to 2.5 Men while he's trying to ask who you are. He doesn't like that, but he will grant you a discount if you're persistent. Finally, on the voucher book, I can get you a youngest enters free weekend pass to County Durham's premium artificial ski slope, the Rumbler, located at the underpass of the M1 as it connects to the A619 slip road. Bring your own skis and snow, and if anyone asks where you're going, tell them something tragic has happened and you need to get your skis and your snow and leave right now to be at the scene of the tragedy before it gets any worse. It's time for us to play a bit more music, I think. While I have a word with my research staff, we'll be back with more Chris Pollard Live after Taipei by Harvey Sutherland. I'll see you shortly. It's Chris Pollard Live. I've already said that. It's Chris Pollard Live.
Chris Pollard Live. Cottage cheese.
Yes, welcome back to Chris Pollard Live. A birthday, not just for me, not just for you, but one that we share with professional wrestler Carl Lieutenant Bumnose Nags. Happy birthday to you, Lieutenant Bumnose, ex-Intercontinental Champion. If you want to get in touch tonight with Chris Pollard Live, you can text studio plus your message to 88802. You can tweet at CPL Infodesk, that's CPL Infodesk, and you can email studio@durhamonair.com with all of your messages, birthday cards, virtual birthday cards, and answers to tonight's big question, which was, of course, how has Chris Pollard Live changed your life? Still to come on tonight's birthday show, we're going to be taking a look through all our cards and seeing which ones we can max out before sacking everything off and buying a new false identity somewhere in southern Costa Rica. It sounds good to me. It's time, however, before we can get on with that identity crisis switch up and music from Capital 1212, a fantastic cover coming up. But before we go over there, it's time for us to go over to our most hotly featured segment of Chris Pollard Live over the last 2 years. Gosh darn it, it's the Chris Pollard Live County Durham Community Corkboard.
The County Durham Community Corkboard.
Okay. First up tonight on the Cplc. Do you need help with your maths homework? Google it. It's 2022, you moron. Anyway, first up on the Cplc, Ice Cream Man available for hire all winter. Top local scoop artist Mr. Sprinklebits has again found himself jobless in the off-season. I'm willing to do most stuff around the house as long as it doesn't involve poo or sick. Call me for a range of prices today, including running your bath to the perfect temperature, only £10 per run. Reorganising your gravy cabinet is only £5 per cabinet. Mowing your lawn in the nude is actually free for the next couple of weeks because it does contribute to his college portfolio. Call Mr. Sprinklebits today because a local ice cream man is for life, not just for 2 weeks in the summer hanging about in a car park with the engine on, kicking pollution out all over, while he charges £4.50 for an ice cream that when I were a kid cost about 70p. And I can imagine it was much cheaper before that. I don't know. I've only got 45 years of experience to draw from. Ice cream men are absolute menaces and pickpockets and are a danger to our future. I regret reading this out, but it was the first in the inbox. He messaged it in, so there we go. If you want ice cream from a thief, or you want any household services performed by a thief, Mr. Sprinklebits has his service. I've not sold them very well. Sorry about that, Mr. Sprinklebits. Next up, County Durham's only haunted tour for known animal ghosts in our area. Join top spirit whisperer Jenny Brassings for a hair-raising tour of some of our county's most haunted B roads, dual carriageways and busy residential areas. Will you make contact with a past pet who's been squished to the other side? Who knows? Customer satisfaction is guaranteed, however, because if no spirits can be connected on the day, if you tip the coach driver enough, he will just drive around until he hits something and sends it to the spirit realm. You're all sick. Finally, in the community corkboard, wanted man who can play violin with buttocks. Estimated pay $48,000 per annum, plus company benefits, including gym membership and parking space. Requirements: fluent on Microsoft Office software, server protocol management, C++ coding, and able to play violin with buttocks. That is required. Contract length: until a new violin is required due to mess. How to apply: if you want it enough, then you'll soon figure out how. People must look inwards before seeking the unknown, and only then shall you find me. It's time for some more music. I hope there's no violin in this one. Here's Love Will Tear Us Apart, a fantastic cover from Capital 1212. And I will see you after the ad break. It's Chris Pollard.
Captain, there is a Chris Pollard live on the radar. It's also on DAB and online radio. What's dear Captain?
Yes, forgot to turn the mic up there. Wow! Welcome back to Chris Pollard Live, second birthday. The only anniversary so far in my life where I'm not crying into my dinner in the garden. The time is 22:22, which means that our 22:22 sponsor this week is Wobbly Ron's DIY Chicken Kiev cocktails. Order the recipe online today at wobblyron.com or just email me at studio@durhamonair.com because I've got it on my phone and I'll just text it to you and save you 25 quid. Who can believe that it's been it's been more than 2 flipping whole years since I first sat here at the community centre, looked you dead in the eyes and said, is that honestly what you're going to be wearing tonight? This is the Robinsons that we're going for dinner with tonight, you know? The Robinsons. This isn't dinner with the Bramleys or the Martins. This is the Robinsons, okay? And this dinner could be big for us, and it could be big for our future. So we need to look the part if we're going to be going round to the Robinsons. A lot of our future is riding on this meal, and if you're thinking of the children, you're not looking like that at the Robinsons' house, okay? Look, this is a £300 suit, and I saw you buy that from Matalan. Hold your horses just a gosh darn second if my name isn't Julie Toadstools, because it's time to check some more of your messages that have come in tonight into the CPL inbox for the second birthday bash special. These are in regard to the big question, of course, which was tonight, how has Chris Pollard Live impacted your life in a positive way? Dina, lovely name, says, CPL has taught me that all men are indeed the same. I mean, I'm reading that back now. I'm not sure if that is a good thing or it might be a bad thing. But again, lovely name, Dina. Love that. Jenny has tweeted, thank you at CPL Info Desk for 2 years on the air. Knowing you have been at a studio at this time every week has consistently allowed me to break into your home and rob you gradually blind. Ah, that does make sense. Yours, the person you should be blaming for your fridge magnets, earrings, and daughter's cigarettes going missing, of course. Instead of blaming God or Jesus like you have been. Oh yeah, I've hidden a mic in there as well. Incredible. Thank you, Jenny, for your birthday wishes. Third from Basil simply says, keep on brushing them teeth, boy. Because it's time for your clip art image of the day.
Clip art image of the day.
And a huge thank you to Ian the Praying Mantis for providing this week's suggestion along, which has really tickled me. It's of a confused looking squirrel who's not sure whether or not his verruca should prevent him from going in the hotel swimming pool on holiday. Behind him, sunbathing, is a Nazi hedgehog.
Still to come on tonight's show, I don't know, this is a pre-recorded jingle.
Welcome back to Chris Pollard Live. It's the second birthday edition special. Muchos spectacularinos. I believe that's Dutch. It's time to put porridge back in the mouths of our primary school children. Sing it with me now, folks, who have been at the marches. I say no more cereals, no more fruit. Porridge before school, or they'll get a stern boot. I'll smash up their Xboxes with hammers, and I'll punch their iPhones until the glass makes me bleed. Still to come on tonight's Chris Pollard Live second birthday special, how much spray paint can I fit in a dead pigeon? Oh, and also later on after that, I'll be evading the RSPCA once again due to my wicked radical fence climbing abilities. You'll never know what allotment I'm in. Now, personally, myself, and I have recently come into a rather large collection of dry, infected blisters on my back, my thighs, and my armpit regions. Which can only mean one thing, according to Google, and that's that it is unfortunately time to round up our local traffic and travel news with Chris Pollard Live, Traffic and Travel.
Chris Pollard Live, Traffic and Travel.
Because reports are flying in now by the second of long delays and gridlock traffic due to some prat on a sledge towed by a lorry singing Holidays Are Coming. He looked like Santa according to reports, but he was definitely on some form of illegal stimulant. Some are pointing towards coke, but they've already filmed their advert for this year, and this guy might genuinely just be in great distress. Travellers are advised if they really want to travel through town this evening, then why don't they try and grow wings and fly if it's that important? Grow up. Nothing's that important. Leave him alone, please. Yes, and welcome back. It's Chris Pollard Live, the second birthday phenomenon spectacular. It's the first birthday party all year that I am yet to ruin. Of course, depending on your preference. I don't know if you're listening to this or watching it, your opinion may drastically differ. I feel like I'm doing all right. Still to come, of course, before the end of tonight's programme, which is coming up very quickly. Can I blow out my candles with tape over my mouth and nose? Or will that just start an even bigger fire? I don't know. But yes, it is the second birthday of the show. I'm very thankful for Durham on Air for allowing me this opportunity for 2 years to help you in every feasible way, every waking moment of every day, putting into providing you with just a little bit of help that the government won't provide. And I think that's a legacy that I will stand by for the rest of time. Another thing I'd like to just clear up tonight on tonight's birthday programme is something I've always wanted to, well, not always, since I was maybe a teenager, something I was never really allowed to do before, but now I'm old and I can do my own thing. I'm an old man now, I can do whatever I want. And I've always wanted to, I've heard about them, seen them on stuff, and I've always wanted to try poppers, and because it is my birthday, it's the show's birthday, it's not my birthday, but I think tonight is the best time of all, if we're watching it on video as well, that we're going to do some poppers for the first time ever. I'm very excited. We're also going to do it to some tasteful music. So here it is, the Chris Pollard Live second birthday poppers. I'm opening the poppers. And happy birthday to us. I'm now about to do my first popper. I'm looking forward to cleaning up cat diarrhea later on as a result of my experimentation with poppers. Here comes a second pop. And now a third. And now a fourth. 2 years of Chris Pollard Live. And now my fifth popper. We have a defective popper. And now my sixth popper. I still don't feel anything. I don't know what everyone else were going on about when they told me these were brilliant. They said they were a real party starter, especially in certain crowds. But I felt a little something then. But not the lightheadedness that was promised to me by the bloke on the market. And now my 7th popper. Happy birthday to Chris Pollard Live. And as we await the police to arrive due to reports of gunfire on the property, my 8th popper. Happy birthday, Chris Pollard Live. Thank you to all the listeners at home. It's time, however, for the Chris Pollard Live 2-year Chamber of Shame. And going into the Chris Pollard Live birthday Chamber of Shame are the enemies of the show. First up, Harry Nettles, the man who emailed me every day for a year with the same photo of his cat having intercourse in a bush. The dinner ladies of St. Christine's in Siam, I just find you arrogant. Vladimir Putin, you never followed up on your email where you sounded so excited to come and be on the show, and I hope a bird poos on your head, you big Russian batch of pancake mixture. Freedom to the people of Gibraltar. We'll be right back to say goodbye shortly. It's Chris Pollard Live. Oh.
On Durham on Air.
Well, there we go. That's 2 years in the bag, people. You can put that in the bank and spend it on chips for all I care. But as far as the future goes, who knows? Here's a rose. Let me see your toes. Not in a dirty way. I've just heard that they're a bit weird. And on that note, what a perfect way to round off 2 years of fantastic help and advice for you, the good people of Durham. I hope you find it that way also. Guess if not, what a monumental waste of time. Please spend your vouchers wisely, enjoy your prizes nicely, and I'll be back in Spicy next Wednesday, most likely. But if not, I'll catch you whenever. Thank you to you. Thank you to Durham on Air. And thank you to you. Because without you and Durham on Air and you, none of this is possible. Which makes you think, doesn't it? Take care. Here's to another bright and wonderful future for Chris Pollard Live on Durham on Air. See ya.